speech belongs half to the speaker and half to the listener. Do you agree with that quotation?
If you agree,
You're right, because the speaker and the listener play important roles in the communication process. The speaker transmits messages, while the listener listens attentively to interpret messages. Great day, senior high learners. I am Teacher Riona, and welcome to another lesson in oral communication. Last session, we discussed what a speech act is. We said that speech acts are acts that refer to the actions performed by produced utterances. In other words, when we say something, an action is being performed. For example, when we say, "I'm sorry," the action that is being performed with that statement is apology. Or when we say no, the action that goes with that statement is refusal. But if we say yes, it's agreement. So apology, agreement, and refusal are the actions being performed with the uttered statements, "I'm sorry," "no," and "yes." So through speech acts, we can convey physical actions merely through words or phrases. The speech acts that we perform can be in the form of an apology, greeting, request, agreement, or refusal. Now that you were reminded of what a speech act is, we are now ready to proceed to our next lesson. To start, let's watch this skit.
What are you talking about?
Come, join us.
We will be using the skit to illustrate the concepts of our today's lesson, types of speech acts. And the objective of this lesson is for you to be able to distinguish the types of speech act. J.L. Austin, in his speech act theory, has presented types of speech acts that speakers perform in every utterance. These are locutionary act, elocutionary act, and perlocutionary act.
locutionary act is the act of making a meaningful utterance. When we say utterance, these are the words, phrases, or sentences that we say. Locutionary act is also defined as the literal meaning of the utterance. This means that the words or phrases that we say have no hidden meaning or intention. Let us use the utterance in the skit, "What are you talking about?" as our example for locutionary act. On the other hand, a locutionary act is the speaker's intention of producing the utterance.
What do you think is the woman's intention in her statement, "What are you talking about?" If you say that she is interested to join in the men's conversation, you're right.
Why? Because we can see that on her facial expression and the way she uttered the statement. Perlocutionary act is the resulting act of what is said or the effect the utterance has upon the thoughts of the listener. What do you think is the perlocutionary act or the resulting act of what the woman said? With the men's reaction, we can say that they agreed to the woman's intention, and that is to let her join in their conversation.
Here is another skit to further illustrate the types of speech acts. But as you watch the skit, try to identify already the locutionary, elocutionary, and perlocutionary acts.
Real Talk Online, how may I help you?
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
speaking. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I am hungry.
Okay, let's take a snack.
Were you able to identify the three acts in the skit? Let's see.
We have here Juan, the speaker, and Pedro, the listener. The locutionary act is, I am hungry. The illocutionary act is Juan inviting Pedro to eat. And the perlocutionary act is Pedro agreed to the invitation as he said, okay, let's take a snack.
Do you now understand the types of speech acts? To check your understanding, identify the locutionary, illocutionary, and perlocutionary acts in this skit.
It is dark in here.
Were you able to identify the locutionary, illocutionary, and perlocutionary acts in the skit? Let's answer.
The locutionary act is, it is dark in this room. The illocutionary act is the speaker requesting to switch the lights on. And the perlocutionary act is the listener accepting the request to switch the lights on.
I'm sure you got the correct answers. To summarize, speech acts are words or phrases that we express not only to present information but to perform an action as well. Speech acts could be in the form of an apology, greeting, request, agreement, or refusal. And there are three types of speech acts. First is the locutionary act, which is the act of making a meaningful utterance, and it is also defined as the literal meaning of the utterance. Second is the illocutionary act, which is the speaker's intention of making the utterance. And third is the perlocutionary act, which is the effect of the utterance on the listener.
Let me end this lesson with our quote for the day. A speech belongs half to the speaker and half to the listener. This means that the speaker's performed utterances achieve its intended effect or purpose only when the listener is able to comprehend the meaning of spoken words. Again, this is Riona, your oral communication teacher.